I really want to have the hood up, but like with my hair, it's not giving, bitch. My titties like closed, bitch. Attack on Titan, a return to anime. Attack on Titan is an anime adaptation from a manga of the same title, created by Hajime Isayama. The anime aired on April 7th, 2013, and as many of you know, is soon to come to a close. From its inception, Attack on Titan has been an absolute phenomenon inside and out of the anime community, with many people crediting Attack on Titan for the massive growth and popularity of anime amongst newcomers. Attack on Titan has even been my go-to for getting some of my closest friends into and hooked on anime. Looking at you, Logan. But you may wonder, why am I talking about it today? With all the Attack on Titan videos out there getting thousands of views as the show hits another spike in popularity as the second part to the final season is currently coming to a close, it might seem like I'm making this video to jump on a trend. And I am. But hold on, because that's not the only reason why we're here today. You see, I have a personal attachment to Attack on Titan. And not just because Levi is the future father of my children, but because I credit Attack on Titan for reintroducing me to a genre that I had forgotten about and neglected for so long. You see, when I was just a wee one, I loved anime and manga. I was introduced to both mediums by my older brother, who at the innocent age of 9 allowed me to read manga such as The Pet Shop of Horrors, Rurouni Kenshin, and Battle Royale. Spoiler alert, I should not have been allowed to read Battle Royale. I remember waking up early Saturday mornings to record the latest episode of the Battle City Finals arc in Yu-Gi-Oh! I had to wait weeks for the DVDs to come back to the library before I could finally check out Trigun. And of course, no anime lover's childhood memories would be complete without the Like I said, I loved anime and manga. But as I got older, something happened. Once I hit my preteen and teen years, I became a lot more self-aware of how certain things I did came off to, like, my friends at school. Back then, like, anime and manga was not what it is today. Don't get me wrong, it was still great, but it definitely was not one of those things that it was as widely as accepted as it is today. Kids at school would call me weird and even make fun of me for reading manga at school. At such a young age, it was enough to cut me pretty deep, and it got me to put anime and manga down forever. Or so I thought. Let's fast forward. It's a boring weekday night, I'm hanging out with my best friend at his house, and he says, "Hey, you want to watch something?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "You like anime?" I tell him I haven't watched it in years, I don't know if I'll like it, but sure. He then proceeds to put on the one and only.
At that terrible moment, in our hearts, we knew home was a pen. Humanity, cattle.
From the opening scene to Armin's chilling narration to the animation, needless to say, I was jaw-drop hooked within the first 60 seconds of pressing the play button. Attack on Titan made its way into my heart faster than Reina made his way into the Shinganshina district. And for 3 very specific reasons, it reminded me of all the love I once had for this entertainment genre. So, if you're down for a journey of rediscovery, go pop some popcorn, pull up a chair, and make yourself comfortable as we go over these 3 reasons and why Attack on Titan became my return to anime. Ari Avengers, let's assemble. Reason 1, the animation. One of the biggest things I loved about manga and anime, and one of its major appeals undoubtedly, is the art style. A lot of my friends always think American cartoons and anime fall within the same spectrum. While both are forms of animation, yes, one could argue that anime overall has an overarching art style that is unique to the genre as a whole and that easily showcases the Japanese origin and influence. Whereas American cartoons don't really have a specific art style. They are usually very particular to each cartoon, and art styles can be easily recognized and tied back to the show's creators. For example, when you look at The Simpsons, Futurama, and Disenchantment, it's not hard to tell these are all creations that come from Matt Groening. But as I previously stated, anime doesn't really have this differentiation within its genre. Whether it's shoujo, shonen, or seinen anime, the art styles are always going to have that very distinctive anime look. However, there are a few exceptions to this rule. Hayao Miyazaki, one of the co-founders of Studio Ghibli, has always stood out within the anime crowd for having a unique art style. However, it is worth noting that while Hayao Miyazaki's work in Studio Ghibli would be considered anime, since it is indeed animation created in Japan, Miyazaki himself has been quoted as saying he is not a huge fan of modern anime and tries to create films that do not fall within the anime genre. Another example is Junji Ito, who is known for his horrific anime art style. While his work stands out, though, other anime films such as Shoujo Tsubaki have similar illustrations, with both works still showcasing an overall Japanese anime art style at its core. But what does that have to do with Attack on Titan? Well, one of the major things that made Attack on Titan a breakthrough success was its undoubtedly beautiful animation style. Oftentimes, anime creators can fall into this really bad habit of reusing facial features and structures and only changing small details on characters such as hair or eye color. This is not the case, however, with Attack on Titan. Each character is very distinctive in height, facial structure, body composition, and so forth. Even in scenes where the characters are swinging around on ODM gear, and I can still tell that it's Jean, Connie, or Sasha. The Titans are equally as distinctive. Each one is drawn to make it clear to us that these are not just cloned mindless drones, but were once people with their own identities and lives. Beyond the scope of attention to detail brought to the characters is also how fluid they move throughout various fight scenes to include scenes with and without ODM gear. Overall, I think most would agree the animation in Attack on Titan is simply chef's kiss. Reason number 2, the story. Alright man, the story, the fucking story. Animation aside, the story is what really makes Attack on Titan as great as it is. Believe me when I tell you I would give 0 fucks if Attack on Titan was acted out by stick figures, so long as the movements were comprehensible and the story was intact. Because oh my god, spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched Attack on Titan, I don't think I'll cover anything beyond season 3, but just in case, click out now. Or maybe just let yourself get spoiled, because if you haven't started your Attack on Titan journey by now, you're wrong and you deserve to have the story ruined. Alright, let's get back to it. In its inception, Attack on Titan was a pretty simple anime with an easy to digest premise. Titans bad, kill Titans. And while there was nothing wrong with this, I do believe the intrigue to the show and manga would have fizzled out fairly quickly had Isayama not introduced the mystery aspect of, well, where do the Titans even come from? Finding out the origins of the Walls, Titans, the history of Eldians, and Ymir was so fascinating. For a person to not get completely wrapped up in the mystery of it all should honestly just be a hate crime.
That's not what a hate crime is.
Well, I hated it!
Isayama did such an amazing job of pulling us out of the audience and thrusting us beyond the walls alongside these characters, to the point where it doesn't even feel like you're watching an anime. It truly feels like we have a stake in the story, as we are equally invested with our main gang in uncovering these secrets and taking back humanity's freedom. More often than not, we were kept in the dark and had to figure things out in real time with these characters. Because of this, the plot twists and betrayals that have become notorious throughout Attack on Titan were just as shocking and heartbreaking for us as they were for our beloved scouts. Now I know there's a lot of controversy over the ending of Attack on Titan, and the fandom, even still, seems to have a pretty big split over it. I do not want to comment too much or spoil anything in Season 4 or the ending of Attack on Titan, so to give my thoughts and how I feel about the story's conclusion, I'll just say this.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Reason 3, Eren Yeager. I'm going to be honest, my first impressions of Eren Yeager were not great. He honestly annoyed the shit out of me. Always yelling, always screaming, always whining, and all this like teen angst. He really just annoyed the shit out of me. It wasn't until the second time I went back and rewatched season 1 and reintroduced myself to this angry, passionate, and determined young man that I kind of started to realize just how far Eren's journey had really come. And that's when I really started to understand and love him as a character. You see, on that second watch through, I already knew where the story was going and where things would end up. Because of this, it made it a lot easier to focus my attention to other aspects of the storytelling, such as character development. It was easy to understand Eren's shifts in personality and attitude. Upon seeing his mother get eaten by a Titan, he is thrown into a very understandable rage as he vows to kill every last Titan. This is his personal mission, meaning whatever actions need to be taken to get strong enough to get there, he will do it with no hesitation. And because of this, Eren looks down on those who would choose any other alternative than to fight. As he goes through cadet training with his childhood friends Armin and Mikasa, the 104th Cadet Corps becomes somewhat of a surrogate family to him. They're the people that up until this point in his life have shared his most challenging experiences, all for the sake of becoming soldiers for humanity. It's no surprise that the lives of his fellow cadets mean the world to Eren. So once we have to see him have to come to terms with the fact that these people he ate, slept, and trained beside with for years are not only capable of transforming into Titans, but in fact are the very same Titans that destroyed him and killed his mother, it's no surprise that Eren's entire belief system is shaken to the core. When Eren finds out he is capable of Titan shifting as well, he quickly makes the choice to use this power to save humanity. Although he doesn't understand where this ability came from, he believes it's been given to him specifically for a reason. As we all know, and Eren himself eventually finds out, this was not really the case. The biggest revelation for this, I feel, is the death of Hannes. When Eren watches Hannes get devoured by the same Titan that ate his mother, it almost breaks him. He realizes that he is still in the same spot, still unable of saving the ones he loves, still weak, in spite of his abilities. But the reason I love this scene is because I feel it showcases perfectly that even if the power of the Attack Titan landed on Eren through sheer circumstance, he is still powerful simply because of who he is. He could have let Dina Fritz's Titan simply devour him and Mikasa, as they shared what would have been their first and final kiss, but he didn't. He chose to stand up and fight in the face of certain death. As the series goes on, we see this disillusionment of Eren as a character, as he continues to find out more about life beyond the walls and outside world. And to rewatch it all from this point of view, I have to say it's pretty heartbreaking. I love Eren so much because I feel in a lot of ways he relates to me and so many other people in the world. You see, for the most part, I feel like we all grow up being taught to see things black or white. And I don't mean that racially. This heartbreaking realization that the world is not as clear as you would want it to be is something that every human being goes through sooner or later in their lives. And like Eren had to learn, and some of us may already know, betrayal rarely ever comes from the known enemy. It comes from the ones we call friend. I grew to love Eren as a character because through his epic journey, I was still able to relate to him on a very basic and emotional level. Even though my childhood didn't include Titans or walls, I had a very strong moral compass and very much saw things the same way Eren did. You were either morally correct or you were bad. As I grew up, I started to see the varying shades of gray in life, within my family, my friends, my relationships, and even within myself. Seeing an anime protagonist live in this fantastical world and still have this character development to such an interpersonal level solidified Eren Yeager as my all-time favorite anime protagonist. Honestly, I don't have much else to say other than Attack on Titan is truly a masterpiece. It is by far my most beloved anime, and I just couldn't be more grateful that on that boring ass weekday night, my best friend looked at me and said, "You wanna watch anime, bitch?" Rediscovering anime honestly helped me reconnect with a part of myself that I had completely forgotten about and thought was probably gone for good. I am truly heartbroken that this series that has become so near and dear to me is coming to an end, but all I can really say is thank you, Hajime Sayama. Thank you to all the animation studios. Thank you to the voice actors. Thank you to the Attack on Titan production team. Thank you for giving me my return to anime. Thank you all for watching. This was my first attempt at this kind of video, so please let me know if you liked it, if you like the formatting of it, if you want more videos in this style. They take me a little bit longer to make, so yeah, I mean, just, it's good content. Just subscribe and fucking wait. The fuck? Not me being aggressive, but yeah, if you liked it, please let me know in the comments, and as always, please be sure to like and subscribe. I was gonna say Ari Avengers Disassemble, but wait, hold on. Wait, Scouts. What? Wait, what do I say for Scouts? My soldiers rage! Ari Avengers Disassemble. What the fuck?